Welcome to the channel. I'm Dave Sears. For today's episode, I'm with driver Dave Miller in the cab of a trucking industry legend, the Pacific P16 off-highway logging truck. This 1977 Pacific has a non-turbo Detroit diesel 12 V71 engine with an air shift Allison transmission and Clark 91 axles. This truck was repainted in original colors 2 years ago and has factory equipment except for a new VHF radio. The 12 V71 is a two-stroke engine which gives it a unique high revving sound and has been a reliable workhorse in heavy haul trucks and the marine industry for decades. It's a 14-liter, 852 cubic inch engine which produces approximately 450 horsepower. Manufacturers switched to more modern four-stroke engines in the mid-90s due to new emission standards and fuel efficiency. So this is a great opportunity to see and hear this rare 12 V71 still working hard in a Pacific P16. Later in the episode, Dave explains some braking techniques he uses for the trip down. Thanks to truck owner Kelly Goodwin of Gadgets Mechanical for the green light to do this episode about his truck. Dave stops to fill up the Pacific's water tank on the way up. So this is the hairpin on the way up. Yeah. Wayne is coming down with a full load of logs, so Dave pulls over to let him pass. In the background, a grapple yarder brings down logs from the steep terrain, while another Cat forest machine works alongside.
This doesn't have a Jake brake, just a retarder. What does that mean? That's correct. So on the Detroit or any engine that has Jake brakes, it's in the heads, so you have Jake heads. This does not have that. So other than my brakes, I have what's called a retarder, and that's in the Allison automatic. And that's the third pedal where the clutch would normally be in a regular truck. This one here.
Oh, that's the retarder there.
That's the retarder.
Yep.
And what the retarder does is it fills the torque converter full of oil, which in turn slows the transmission down. So in a sense, it's just like a driveline brake of some sort. And but the one thing about it is we have temperature gauge, and the longer that you hold the retarder in one sequence, it heats that oil up faster.
Oh.
So you always have to cycle it.
Cycle it through.
You have to cycle the
right.
pedal. Otherwise, you'll end up overheating your transmission.
Okay, gotcha. And you were saying you don't use your foot brake that much?
Well, we will if we really have to.
Yeah.
But you'll see that my foot's always covering it
Yeah.
because we're going downhill because we're off the throttle.
Right.
We're basically idling.
Yeah.
And if something happens where the road's loose or something and I start to pick up too much speed,
Yeah.
I will use my treadle
I
valve.
see.
But
And
only
you're
if I have
setting
to.
your trailer brake, you said too?
Yes, I use trailer brakes on the hand valve, and I can set at 30 pounds right now. And for the switchbacks, that'll be where it's set. And then I have steering axle brake here, which I will put about 10 pounds on it, and those will stay right where I want them to. And then I use a little bit of retarder. And if I really have to, I will use the truck brakes if I have to. But if I do that, I'll come off the retarder. So I won't use the retarder if I'm going to use truck brakes.
Oh, I see.
Because it's too much force on that drivetrain, it'll start your rear ends to jump. Because it wants to go forward, but it's being held back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
Right.
that's how you blow rear ends.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Bill. Watch it happen as we go downhill. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot there, Dave.
You betcha.
Oh, and you were saying your lockup switch is over here somewhere.
Right here where the orange light is.
Okay. So you're coming down a real steep hill and around a corner. What's your kind of your safety or escape plan if something goes wrong with your brakes?
Well, if something goes wrong, typically when you're hauling off the hills like this, you have a drop off on one side and you have a rock face on the other, and that rock face will have a ditch. So the first thing I would do is I would take it out of lockup, and lockup is like a standard transmission. So if you go into converter, you won't have the engine fighting to drive forward. And then I would set both maxi brake buttons off, and I would just steer ever so gently towards that rock face and let the load hit the rock face. And once it does that, it'll stop you. And that way it saves your life.
Right. So you're getting the load to scrape up against the side of the rock face and stop you.
Exactly, to slow
Right.
you down. But
Oh.
you know, like I said before, as long as you have everything in good shape and you look after your truck, and you know, you clear mind when you're doing it, you shouldn't have those issues. But that is the major escape plan.
Good to have an escape plan.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Cool. Thanks for explaining that.
You bet.
Thanks to Dave Miller for having me along in the cab of the Pacific.